did you come up with this idea of WADA?
Okay. I'll tell you a story, Gwendo. When I was growing up, a young adult, like in Africa, we go to church a lot. So one day, one Sunday, went to church, and the preacher, his name is Dr. Mensa Otabil, he made a statement, and that statement really stayed with me, for many, many years. Still, that I still remember that statement. But what he said was that Africa is actually 200 years in terms of development behind the West. At that time I had never traveled. I was, Ghana was the only country that I knew, and it just made such a big impression on me because you think, oh my gosh, 200 years. Whenever are we going to catch up? Anyway, so fast forward to 2018, and I've gotten to know about Cardano, and then I'm hearing all these possibilities that could happen, and I'm like, okay, maybe this is the game changer. This is how we can catch up. And Charles, as we all know, with IHK, they are doing since 2018, they've been doing a lot of focused work in East Africa. They have a team there. Charles has done a lot of travels to that country, Eastern, actually South Africa. And sometimes when Charles will be speaking, he will talk about Nigeria. Sometimes he mentioned Ghana, and I'm like, oh, good. Like one of these days they will, not just East Africa, but it will also be West Africa. But as time went on, and now Charles wasn't talking too much about the countries in West Africa. But like I realized that like the work is just so big, and that IOHK, now their name is IOG. It's not something that they can do the whole of Africa. It's impossible. And this is blockchain. This is decentralized. Power to the edges. We all have the power. And I began to think back to what the work that I had been doing, growing up in Ghana, and how even though we're a really small local organization with we did have some international backing, we were able to do a lot in Ghana. So I'm like, maybe this is something that we can do. So I started dreaming and thinking about WADA, and then last year, Cardano, as we are moving into Voltaire and decentralization and governance and funding, you came up with this project Catalyst, and I'm like, yes, this is it. So put my thoughts more into writing, and then as I shared the dream, I had all these people joining, and now I can see that okay, it's possible, and it's something that it will actually come to pass.
Okay, that's actually, and I think it's really important what you say about there is Cardano, there is this vision of Africa, but it's decentralized, and people have to seize the opportunity and to create things. We cannot only rely on IOG to develop everything. So we can see that in Cardano, there is a lot of work which is done by developers creating application, creating like having vision, trying to a lot of different tools. But at the end, people who wants to create projects, who wants to develop things, have to seize those things. And it's what actually you did with WADA. It's like, okay,
exactly.
I see there is a potential with blockchain, with Cardano, and then with Catalyst, actually, it's like a moment where you can apply for funds, show your idea to the community, get some feedbacks. And I think it's actually like a great way of thinking. It's like not only waiting for things to happen, but like provoke them, try to do that. So
And Granda, like you look at, Charles, right? And the dream that he has for, I know that he's not African, but like he led the building of this protocol. It was a dream. And like his IOG, they are doing all that they can to make that dream happen. But sometimes once you share a dream, right? You just see people, if they identify with their dream, you see them coming from all over, congregating to make that dream come to pass. And in a way, that's what WADA has been on a smaller scale in West Africa. Like it's a dream, and then once you write it down, you share it, you just see all these people that want to come and build the dream. So yeah.
so that's actually really really concrete. Like it's you have the dream. Like let's say there was this dream for Africa who's blockchain, and you have your part of the dream, and other people gather within this initiative, which is West Africa Decentralized Alliance. So, can you tell us a bit more in detail what are the objectives of WADA? What do you want to achieve?
Okay, so in summary, I would say that we just want to create opportunity for West Africa, for West Africans, both on the continent and in the diaspora. And like as with all dreams, we know that it will spread to the rest of Africa. And when Africa is, has all these opportunities, it's just a matter of time. It spreads to other parts of the world. But for now, we are, our dream is to focus on West Africa. So we have these three words that we use to guide us. It's discover, sometimes when especially aid organizations, they do a lot of work in poorer communities, but sometimes like it's prescriptive. They have a solution, and they like they bring the solution. What we are trying to do is that we just want to like as I said, we are a global international organization with a local footprint. So what we just to go into the local communities, to go to where the problems are, and then just to find out, okay, so what are the felt needs, what are the issues, and add some education to it, add some marketing to it, add some advocacy to it. So in that way, like working in partnership with local communities, with governments, with institutions, we are able to discover what the issues are, what the problems are. And then we set, in terms of we get ready, in terms of, okay, how do we remove some of these barriers? How do we remove some of these problems? And then that is when we go to the last bit, which is the accomplish, work with local organizations just to accomplish the, sort of bring the solutions, right? So work with local organizations, local communities, local governments, and local entities just to bring some of these solutions. When we look at Cardano, as a protocol, we know about the foundation, we know about Emego. There are a lot of enterprise solutions that are being developed, and obviously we are not going to, a sort of do what has been done already, and would we even be able to do it? They've built such a great protocol. So some of these enterprise solutions that right now might be rolling out in areas like Ethiopia. These are some of stuff that we believe that we can bring into West Africa. There might be a time that we can tell Charles, prepare the ground. Can you send maybe somebody from East Africa, or maybe even the foundation, maybe the CEO of the foundation might, we can say that come and talk to these governments and stuff like that. So it's what we would do at the local level. with people. And it's also, at the government at a higher level. We prepare the ground, we bring partners in as needed. Also, another thing that we're looking to do is funding, like funding access for developers and businesses so that they can actually build on the Cardano protocol. A lot of the challenges that we have in Africa and in West Africa, people have dreams, right? They have solutions, but sometimes just the capacity or the funding or the ability to just put some of these dreams into reality, it becomes difficult. So that's also some of the things that we are looking to be doing. Just connect people who are aware of the problems. They have the solutions. Just connect them with the capacity and the capability to actually be able to build local solutions. And one of the ways that we are actually focusing on doing this is just to create some of these hubs. Right now, we know that there is a lot of that, those hubs going, happening all over Africa, in East Africa. We want to really accelerate some of that in West Africa, whereby we equip the developers, we equip business startups to just don't worry about the electricity, don't worry about the internet, just come to this space that we are creating and just find out what's on the blockchain, what is possible, start dreaming, start asking, what can we do, what can we build. So those are the things that we are looking at bringing. There are so many more, and it's difficult to just go through all of that. But at a very basic level, it's sort of a top down, bottom up sort of approach, whereby we we equip, we enable, we create opportunity and make dreams come true.
That's awesome. I really like the make dreams come true, because actually, I think it's really important for us as community member to try to create stuff. And as you say, for us sometimes in the West, it's difficult to understand that. But Africa has a lot of potential. There is a lot of great minds, but sometimes they just don't have access to something as basics for us as you say, electricity or internet.
Yeah.
And of course, in the world we're now, if you don't have like a stabilized access to all these things, it's a big barrier. So you have the mind, you have the ability, because there is a lot of people who have IT skills, but they cannot really express them. So like actually creating this opportunity. And once again, it's not making the work for them, I guess. It's more giving them the opportunity. And as you say, you have like connection with NGOs, you are developing things with university, I think you said it, and with government. And then you just like give this a little push in the back just to help people to develop their thing. So yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense. And yeah, it's definitely our part as community member in Cardano to just allow this, because we cannot like just let IoG works at the government level. We also have to help the developers, and not only developers, also people who have IDs, because it's the people we want to push at the end. So I think that the vision for WADA is pretty clear. Perhaps you can tell us a bit about the team you created for WADA, because I think it's already like a big team, and you gather already a lot of talent. So I think it could be interesting if you can tell us a bit about the team.
Okay. Okay. To make this easier, I will sort of divide it into the implementation and the sort of implementation country teams, and then we have a volunteer advisory team. So in terms of the implementation team on a country basis, okay, so there's myself, sort of more international, and then co-founder, his name is Josh Fielding. So he is the global project lead. He comes to us from the startup world. very detail-oriented guy. He keeps me task-focused. He's great. And then, on the Ghana level, we have the country lead. Her name is Efia Erasmus Owusu, and she is somebody that I worked with, many years ago when I worked with the NGO. And when I shared this dream with her, she knew what I was talking about, because she saw what a group of local passionate people can actually achieve. At the local level. She comes with a lot of experience. She's worked with a lot of international organizations. At some point, she was actually responsible for 17 African countries. So she knows that kind of, bringing people together, networking, and information flow, and stuff like that. Also in Ghana, we have Jacob Tete. He is a designer, but since we started WADA, he was just so passionate. He was just developing all these website development skills. He's the first person actually that I started talking about WADA with. He's very embedded in the Cardano community. He's been there, for many years, and I actually saw him on Twitter, and I saw his name, and I knew that was a Ghanaian name, so I just got a hold of him, and because he has this passion, it was very easy to start working with him. He's putting lots and lots of volunteer hours into WADA, and he's somebody that I very much appreciate. He's also our SIGPO lead. We have some support in terms of sponsorship from Cardano SIGPO XYZ, but Jacob is the local contact guy. And then we also have Daniel, and he is a developer. He's a young man, and he is going to be a developer lead in Ghana. In Cameroon, we have Felician Fuchio Manfo. This is, a very brilliant guy, lots and lots of dreams. He's also somebody that, we got in touch through the Cardano community. And, he already has all these dreams that he was working on. He has his own team, his co-partner, Megan, and Fabrice, and Didier and Nyambe. So they are all in, Didier and Nyambe are in Cameroon, and the rest of them are sort of in the diaspora, getting ready to get together in Cameroon by end of March, thereabouts. But, he brings such passion and such dreams to WADA. And he was just one of those that he reached out. He said that we are technical people. We want somebody who would do the rest of the stuff, like the marketing stuff and the education stuff and the advocacy stuff. So they have become part of the team, and we feel really blessed to have them. In addition to this, we have the volunteer advisory group. So these are right now there are 3 of them. We love them deeply because they are just, we are not budgeting for them because, they just believe in our dream and they just want to keep us on the straight and narrow. We have Virginia G. She is, one of the team members of Cardano SIGPO XYZ. And then we also have, and Virginia is helping us quite a lot with social media engagement, and then some other, funding and stuff like that. We also have Sidney Nicholas. He's in the US. He's worked for many years with Fortune 500 companies, and he's very when it comes to marketing and analytics and stuff like that, he's your guy. And last but not the least is we have Professor Wusu. So he is based out of Ghana. He is an associate dean in one of the departments it's actually one of our best universities in Ghana, University of Ghana. and he's also the head of yeah, I forgot the full name, but he's also a head of an institute in University of Ghana, and he is actually our academic advisor. So, you know, through him, we are hoping that we'll be able to reach out to some of the other universities and colleges throughout Ghana and West Africa. So yeah, so that's the team. Every day we are expanding. We keep we keep getting messages. Over the weekend, I responded to a team that we might be getting from Nigeria. We are very, very excited about. I think they're also a team. So right now, you know, as I said, we've built the team, or we've built the dream, and we just keep having all these people, you know, coming to join us and helping to make the dream possible.
That's actually impressive on how you are able, like, to create already like such an important team. And with what's really interesting for me and important is that you are actually a team with a different set of skills, so which cover a lot of a large spectrum, because I think that actually when you want to onboard people, you cannot only do it with devs, or you can only do it with people with IDs. You know, you have to mix a bit of the two. And actually with academics, I think it's also really interesting if you want to spread the word, if you want to people learn about it, and at the same time having access with people in NGOs, and I think it's really brilliant. And on top, which is even more difficult, is like having this in several countries. So it's like really impressive, and I think it's going the right way. And on top of that, if you allow me, I would like to add as well that amongst the community, you are also creating opportunities, and you make people working together and talk to each other. For instance, I take our own case at Proof of Africa, or with ABCD in Nigeria. We are actually often talking with you, and we are trying to create this comprehensive and overall African community where you make people talk to each other and try not to make them competitors, but instead partners. So you might work on the same field or something, but instead of like just competing, you can work together, have discussions, and through your network, being able to either tap into like some developers because they need some specific skills, or an NGO, or so I would also like to highlight that, because like you're creating the links, and I think it's important for the community. So perhaps you can tell us a bit about your vision about creating links between different members. I think it's interesting.
Thank you. And Gwendo, you say it so well. And it's also the spirit that you also bring, right? Like you are somebody that also has that sort of global view. And I really appreciate it. You are, you know, you are a networker, and you teach us all so much. So thank you for all you do as well. So, you know, like within the Cardano community, oh my gosh. So like, and it's actually Catalyst, you know, Project Catalyst that made me see the passion, the skills, the knowledge, and all these people that, you know, like in real life, I might never have had the opportunity to meet. But just because of the ecosystem, and, you know, everybody comes to build, you know, we've made a lot of these formal, you know, there are some formal links that we've made, as well as, you know, every day, just by virtue of just, you know, hanging around with people, you know, you build relationships, and, you know, you never know in the future when you need those people. So we take everybody seriously, you know. We don't see somebody is too big, and we don't see somebody is too small. We know that everybody brings, you know, a skill. They bring value, because the person that you think is small today, you don't know, you know, like in a few years, you don't know where that person will be. So, yeah. But in addition to that, you know, as you said, Gwendo, We have a very good working relationship with ABCD, Proof of Africa. We are very, very interested in what you guys are doing. I'm always teasing Josh. Josh, just make sure that what you're doing in Nigeria succeeds, because as soon as it's all done, like we pick it and then we bring it to Ghana and we spread it to the rest of Africa. So that's something that a relationship with ABCD is very important to us. Also, Afrofinlab. Right now, we sort of a podcast sort of organization, but ultimately, the goal is for it to become a media, a financial education company. And just that in Afrofinlab, just a small team, there's just, oh my gosh, the passion and the skills just within that is also just crazy. We also have a Gimba Labs, and they are just also doing fantastic work, and they will be helping us, especially when it comes to the hands-on developer training. We have a very good working relationship with the liquid funding, the founding team. We also have a good relationship through Afrofinlab with Somint. It's sort of an art NFT. Like we know that NFT is sort of the future, and we're seeing how that's going to pan out, because as you're aware, Gwendo, all these when we talk about the illiquid wealth in Africa, in West Africa, a lot of it is, creative stuff. A lot of it is, like commodities that need to come to the market. And it will be through, the NFT sort of paradigm that will be able to capture a lot of these, value that's locked in West Africa. Last but not the least, in terms of the sort of local within Cardano community partnerships, Red Token. Gwenda, we don't have to forget about Red Token. So that's an amazing initiative. I know that you are a co-founder, and you guys reached out to WADA that like we should join in terms of once we start rolling out. We will be helping, sort of to bring in, to spread it, to broaden that. I just sort of outside the Cardano ecosystem, we also have a partnership with the Blockchain Education Network. So this is a network that has been around for many years. 6 years plus. And what they do, they've specialized, they have a niche market. They go to colleges, they go to universities, and they just establish these blockchain chapters. They equip them, they give them education, they let them know of employment opportunities, and they're doing really, really well. They've just entered the African university academic system, and they are working with us, and we feel really, really blessed to have them. We also have Vincent. He is somebody that he's a co-founder of Smart Chain. We're also in talks with him. There are so many others in the pipeline. Sorry that I've gone on and on, but yeah. So I hope I haven't left anybody out. Yeah. So I think that's about the partners.
It's actually amazing, and it's good for us because it's going to give us a lot of opportunity of interviews, because there is a lot of different other people working. It's like, no, it's really amazing. And I think it's one thing which is really important. It's like creating this network, creating this relation between people, and it's only going to push the thing forward and to help projects to grow and to help projects to find support and stuff. So I think it's definitely the way to proceed, and it's good for Africa, for West Africa first. But I think then, as you say, once we tried pilot projects in several locations, we can easily duplicate it in other countries.
Exactly.
the context is not necessarily exactly the same. So there is adjustment to do, but the overall idea, if it works and we have a solid pilots, then we can do that again in other countries.